Arkansas added 706 new cases of COVID-19 today, both confirmed and probable. Now, this is from the ADH dashboard directly. There are 80,003 confirmed cases and more than 2,700 probable cases. More than 74,000 have recovered from the virus. Right now, there are more than 6,900 total active cases and 23 more deaths reported in the last 24 hours, bringing the total number up to 1,350. Governor Asa Hutchinson says Arkansans must continue to follow guidelines from public health officials to slow the spread of COVID-19. 5 News reporter Veronica Ortega has more from the governor's weekly update.
As the number of COVID-19 cases reported in Arkansas continue to trend high, Governor Asa Hutchinson and Health Secretary Dr. Jose Romero are reinforcing necessary measures to contain the virus.
I want to again reiterate that it's important to wear the mask correctly, to have it covering the nose, covering the mouth.
Both K-12 public schools and universities seeing a slight decrease from the previous week.
I've talked to superintendents today, and they are reflecting and looking at, again, to redouble their efforts to make sure that safety precautions are in place as much as is possible.
The governor highlighted testing efforts, the state reaching its goal of more than 1 million tests by the end of September. This comes on the heels of an announcement from the president that 150 million rapid response tests will be distributed to states by the federal government. Arkansas will receive 900,000 tests and 59,000 of those within the next 10 days.
We're going to have to prioritize it initially, and it will be in, whether it's schools, which will be a top priority.
Hutchinson revealed that during the weekly report from the White House Coronavirus Task Force, the state is still in the red zone for coronavirus cases and the 7th highest in the country.
It's just a reminder that if you go out wherever in Arkansas, then, unless you're social distancing, you're in jeopardy of attracting the virus. And so be careful. And if we are careful individually, then we're not going to contract it and we're not going to be able to spread it.
Covering news where you live, Veronica Ortega, 5 News.
Now, the White House Coronavirus Task Force report states 2/3 of Arkansas counties have community transmission, with new cases double the national average. 2 out of the top 3 counties are in our area: Washington, Pulaski, and Benton counties. They represent nearly 30% of the new cases in the state.